Hello guys, welcome back to the next video on our web scraping in Python series. Till date we have covered that we are actually have an intent and we are asking a user agent to provide that information which user agent is getting from the server. So basically what we are doing is we are actually making a request and that request is hitting the target server and then target server is producing a response for us. However, in real life, what actually happens is there are proxies involved. So, what exactly proxies are? Proxies are application layer, and these application layers are involved, which actually does not let us directly to communicate with the server. However, we also want the proxies to be there because they that help in web scraping in Python also, and I'll show you how exactly they help. But they are basically your application layers, and they I can call them intermediaries. So they work in between before we actually catches to the target server. And so I can give you an example also here. So suppose you are working for a big corporate firm and you want to access internet. You made some request to your user agent, basically your browser, and then that browser hit the target server. However, in between, those requests get filtered and many of the companies such as Facebook does not work in the office. So because those filters are involved and those filters are basically your intermediaries. These intermediaries are working in between before you actually hit your target server. So this is what proxy means. And let me go back to the next layer so I can show you what exactly the type of proxies we are going to work on. So the first proxy to which you will relate the most is caching proxy server. We know that there are cache involved whenever we browse. So what actually happened in this case is there's a client like us who is actually making requests. So we are making requests to the server in order to get some data, and this is our main server. However, in between there is this big database, which is I can call cache proxy server. So when we make request, cache proxy server checks whether we have been to this website before and whether we have got this information we tried to access before. And if this information is available with the cache proxy server, then it responds back. And in this case, we get a response much faster. So if the information is not involved, what will happen? The cache server will go to the main server, hit it, and get the response back for us and then give it to us. So this syncing, this sync only take place when we have basically the new requests. But cache are stored in our browser and those are temporary store information which we generally keep on accessing here and there. So that's why always there is an intermediate taking place. All right. So next we will talk about your load balancing server. Let me go to a new board. Yeah. What exactly the purpose of load balancing server is to reduce load on the server. So suppose there are many clients and these clients are making requests to the server. So there is a load balancer here. Basically, we can call it a balancing server, which is working as a intermediary or a proxy, and it is going to reduce the load. How exactly this server is going to reduce the load? It is going to send requests to different servers rather than sending all the requests to one server. So there would be different servers it would be connected to, and all the client's requests will be going to different servers in order to serve the information which different clients are asking for. So this is another type of proxy. All right, so let's cover the most important proxy which is used most in web scraping. Let me get a new board for us. This is about IP address. So what actually happened is when we are scraping a information from the web, we send tens of requests because we want the information keep on coming in loop. In that case, what happened is the web browser might understand that the information is coming from this IP address again and again. It might understand it's a bot, and in that case, we could get banned. So what web scraper do is they go for a scraping client. This scraping client actually create requests for them and goes to residential proxies. So basically, if you have ever used VPN, what VPN does is it will give you a proxy to the residential country. So suppose I want to browse something in Canada, I'll go for a VPN, and now my IP address will be of Canada instead of India. So in that case, the server thinks someone from Canada is actually browsing the website. So these residential proxies then give you an IP address which actually hit the final target server. And this comes very handy when we actually start coding because we understand what are the different things we have to take care of when we are actually working on getting the information from web via scraping. So just to give you an idea of this again, tons of requests generates here from different IP address. So basically in these two, scraping client is generating the request and different IP address is coming from here. Then the what happened is this target server assumes these requests are coming from different IP address. So when it assumes different IP address are involved, it does not take an action. Right. And if it does not take an action, it's good for us because then only we can get the information. So I think this is all we need for this video, and this is what you need to know about proxies. I'll talk further about it once we reach to the advanced stages. But this is how exactly the game of proxies works. All right. I'll see you in the next video then.